We're back with Florence Griffith Joyner, who was called the fastest woman in the world after the '88 Olympics, after you won the 3 golds. What was the feeling like at that point? Did you keep surprising yourself over and over and over again?
I did. You know, I took one race at a time. Going to Seoul, as soon as we arrived at the airport, there was a flight accident. My husband had accidentally dropped our cart on my Achilles. And I thought, oh God, I know I didn't just come to Seoul just to be injured. And I couldn't walk for like 2 days. And I got treatment on it, and I just prayed. And I said, oh God, I have so many races to run. Please let me be ready. And once the 100 got ready, I was very anxious and excited. And once it was over, before it was over, about 20 meters before the finish line, I thought, oh God, I don't see anybody. I feel that I have this race won. One will be over. And I just couldn't help but from smiling from within. And I went to my room and I said, oh, thank God, one is over. I have more to go. And going through round after round after round, I just tried to remain focused on what the next race was all about. Not worry about anything happening, but just concentrating on getting in the block, staying relaxed, and making it to the finish line before anyone else did.
Most people just really have to focus on one event, but as a sprinter, I know a lot of sprinters do a few, but I guess because you're so interested in so many other things, that perhaps helped you in the world of track and field, because you could focus on this event, forget about the next one until the next one comes, and really it's a one day at a time kind of thing.
Right. You have to take one race at a time. If I had done something wrong, like I didn't get a good start in one of the heats, I didn't concentrate on that. I said, okay, well, the next race, I'll get a better start. So each race, because I had so many to run, I just took one race at a time. And not knowing that prior to going to the Olympic Games in Seoul, I didn't know I was going to compete in the 4x400 meter relay. The coach just didn't ask me until the last minute, and I thought, oh God, 4 more. Sure, I'd love to do it. And that silver medal that I won in the relay, that's my most precious medal, because the United States had given me the chance and the opportunity to try to make history by winning 4 gold medals. And I tried as hard as I can, and that's very precious to me.
So that's silver?
That's silver, my most precious medal.
That's interesting. But after the '88, you retired. There was a lot of controversy. People thought, uh-oh, the steroid thing, uh-oh, why isn't she continuing on? What did you say to those people?
It wasn't nothing new that I was faced with as far as people saying bad things. In my neighborhood, people talk about you all the time because you didn't have this, you didn't have that. And my mom has always taught me to turn the other cheek. When someone talks about you or don't like you, you pray for them. And I knew that I have never taken drugs, so I didn't let that bother me what people said. I knew that it was a thing that was in the news, and people were looking for things to point fingers at athletes, and I just tried not to take it personal and to just concentrate on the things that I had to do and to move on.
It seems like the media, not only the media, but fans of track and field, they build you up, and you get to a point, you earn the status of having, being such a great champion, then they're always looking for things to knock the champions down. Did you feel like they were taking cheap shots at you at that point?
I try not to focus. There were some athletes make some really bad and false accusations against me, but again, I try not to let that bother me. It doesn't bother me what people say about me. What bothers me is the pain that they cause my family and friends. Now that hurts worse than anything. But I try to do as best as I can to stay with my family, let them know I love them, and I know that they're out there supporting me. And as long as I know that love is out there, I don't worry about anything else, what people say about me negative.
You were absolutely sure that you could go out and just say there's no rhyme or reason to those allegations whatsoever?
Oh yeah. I mean, I went on television, the guy that I was supposed to meet with, he didn't show up because he knew he was lying. And I don't know, at a time in your life you have to reflect back on, gosh, the world is something. You can love everybody in the world, but everybody's not going to love you. You can only pray that everybody will, but you can't force people. If they're not ready to accept you, you can't force them to.
I know you're training now in the marathon for 96. Atlanta Olympics.
Right.
But at the time in '88, did you quit because you wanted to pursue your other interests? I mean, you're so diverse, and that's always been wonderful because so many athletes are so focused and they don't get the chance to experience other things aside from athletics.
I retired in 1989 because I could no longer train 100% in which I'm used to training. If I can't give it my all, I don't want to give it at all. And going into February of 1989, I said, well, there's no way I can compete this year because I was traveling so frequently all over the world, there was just no way I could train right. And I got to a point I told Al, well, I want to continue, I want to go to World Championships, and I want to go to 92. But because I had reached my goals in 1988 at the Olympics, I had the opportunity to try to pursue other careers, such as my designing. The Japanese had offered me to start my own clothing line, and I said, oh yes, because I never knew when the opportunity may present itself again.
So you have your own boutique in Japan and your own
clothing lines put on by Mizuno and Sosukuya.
And they're track and field clothes are all
One is
different?
on the Flo-Jo line put on by Mizuno. It's an active wear sport line. The other one is a dressy or a signature line by Sosukuya.
Are you a goddess in Japan every time you walk the streets? I mean, sometimes I know track and field over there is so much more popular than in this country. And obviously you're popular here, but how is it when you walk in Tokyo?
I hear a lot of joyner-san, joyner-san. But I feel so comfortable in Japan. I love the people, and they're very respectable. We have been doing business with them since '88, and we haven't had any problems. We haven't had any negative feedback, and so I've been very satisfied with them.
The Indiana Pacers, you designed their uniforms last year, correct?
For 1990, right, and they're still wearing them.
How did that come about?
Well, my husband and I were approached by Mary Keene, who at the time was working for the Pacers, and she asked if I would do it, and I said, sure, I would love to. But I'm used to designing for women and men in track and field, and when I was asked to design for men over 6 feet, I thought, oh gosh, well, they can't wear pink, they can't wear lace. What do I
not
design?
One-legged
no,
shorts
not
either.
One-legged. So I had to be a bit conservative. I didn't want to make anything boring, but I wanted to make something that was totally different from what they had. And they liked what I came up with. I designed over 200 outfits, and they narrowed it down, and we finally narrowed it down to like 5, and they made the final decision on that one.
That's amazing. Designer, writer, we haven't gotten into that yet, training for the 96 games. When we come back with Florence Griffith-Joyner, maybe her better half, should I say that, will join us as well. Al will be with us as well. Stay where you are, we'll be right back.
And now, the Advil Advantage, spotlighting training tips of the stars.
What I would tell an athlete who wants to fulfill their dreams is to have a dream. Set yourself a definite goal and work hard toward that goal, and don't let anything or anyone stop you in the process, no matter what it is. Stay focused, keep training, and believe in yourself.
After running